shall we talk about Animals Run Amok? It seems to be popular with the release of Elizabeth Banks' Cocaine Bear. So why don't we just take a look at a few lesser-known films that I think if you liked Cocaine Bear, you should like these. Now, Cocaine Bear is played totally for laughs, and but it does have one thing in it that is very important in an Animals Run Amok or Nature Runs Amok film, is you have sympathy for Cocaine Bear. He didn't know it was cocaine. He did not know he'd have this reaction. So the best Animals Run Amok film, in my opinion, works it enough that you can look at the natural villain, whether it be rats or whatever, and you can have a little bit of sympathy for them, no matter how horrible their actions might be. And, well, here's a list. Let's start. My first recommendation is an Italian film that came out in 1983. It was directed by Franco e Prosperi. If that name sounds familiar, it should. The godfather of the Mondo film, director of Mondo Cane and Africaído. Wild Beast, which was made in 1983, was his only narrative film, and after that he stopped working in cinema. Here is where this film makes a great partner or double feature with Cocaine Bear. The idea behind the film is somehow pure PCP has gotten into the water, and for so long it makes those animals go completely crazy. Most likely from his days making Mondo films, something that I want to warn viewers of Wild Beast is there's a fair amount of animal cruelty. There's an amazing number of animals, and it seems like there were great handlers, but there is one specific scene involving a couple attacked in their car by rats. And, well, definitely if you see the scene, you know that they were cutting cost by basically killing live rats. So I want to warn everybody of that. But it's an amazing film in the fact that there's so much action, there are so many animals. It's the first time that I ever saw a cheetah try to outrun I think it's like a Volkswagen. But it is one of Franco Prosperi's best films. And it's a shame that he didn't do more in the narrative. That's Wild Beast from 1983. It's pretty easily obtained through Severn Blu-ray. My next recommendation was made in 1978 in Australia by the director Colin Eggleston, The Long Weekend. It was written by Evert de Roche, who also wrote such Australian classics as Patrick, Razorback, and Road Games. The Long Weekend is a slow burn but very rewarding nature run amok film. A couple with a failing marriage decide to go camping, and as they go camping, they slowly start noticing that the flora and fauna around them are not happy. Long Weekend is subtle in its attack, and I think it's safe to say it is the perfect nature run amok film for somebody who is not a horror fan or a nature run amok aficionado. That again is Long Weekend from Australia, released back in 1978. The next film I'd like to recommend is Genocide, a Japanese film from 1968, directed by Kazui Niomatsu, who is also known for his 1967 film, The X from Outer Space, which is one of the more bizarre kaiju films. The film centers around a group of military personnel that are left trying to figure out why a group of killer bugs brought down their jet carrying a H-bomb, a continual trope in Japanese horror films. This grimy yet beautifully shot film is a very hard eco-horror film, and I highly recommend it as it is very much something you didn't see in a lot of Japanese films at that time. Yet again, it's called Genocide from 1968. One of my all-time favorite Nature Runs Amok films is a 1963 film by Robert Jordan, a television director, called Black Zoo, filmed in blood-curdling color in Panavision, starring the great Michael Gough. This film is wonderful because it does a great job of mixing genres. So the animals are actually being controlled by Michael Gough's religious cult, which makes it a very distinct flavor and one of the earliest entries into the animal run amok subgenre. Highly recommend it. It might be a little hard to find, but in today's age, you should have no problem. So, yet again, that was Michael Gough and Robert Jordan's The Black Zoo. Hopefully you'll get a chance to check out some of these movies. Yet again, as I said, Cocaine Bear is played solely for laughs. The films that I've recommended are pretty straightforward in being, a horror movie tone. If you've enjoyed this, let me know. And this is a kind of a test to see if I want to keep making videos about movies and music and such, maybe even connect it with Ambassador Radio. I must apologize for the brutal truth music at the beginning. I liked that particular edit, so I kept it. So thank you, and I'll see you on the flip side.